You hear these birds? Oh my goodness, it's absolutely beautiful today. Hi everyone, it's Davi Junda from @WeLightBeams or @figure.8.energy on Instagram, and I'm just feeling like, so good. I did a sound bath for the little light beings in a salt cave, Earth Salt Stone in Jacksonville, Florida. If you haven't been there, definitely check it out. It's just like my nasal passageways feel so clear. And Rian was a bit like sniffly too, so hopefully like that's all gone, because that's one of the amazing benefits of being like in a room that's a bunch of salt everywhere and then like small particles of salt being misted into the air. And of course, like I'm breathing really deeply, doing all these like tonal frequencies, and I have my crystal bowls, which y'all saw, and it's great. So enough about my day and more about the message, because this is a message that I received this was probably like a week and a half ago, and I wanted to make a video and share, but the opportunity just wasn't coming up. And whenever I would have some time, I would feel like I don't really like have that energy for it, because there's just like a different type of excitement and like fire that I feel within me whenever I share these messages. And I noticed that as I was sitting with the message and allowing it to like marinate for these times, I was getting layers and layers of greater perspective on the message to share. Message coming back to authenticity. We keep talking about authenticity, but the extra layer of it is sometimes it may feel like some sort of puzzle or scavenger hunt to come back to yourself. Like, who am I? What am I supposed to be doing? How can I be my authentic self if I'm in an environment, if I'm in a society that's been telling me something different for so long? And how come like I feel like I'm really drawn to these certain things, but I can't quite tap into it? And the answer is simply, your guides make you forget sometimes your abilities, the things that you are innately capable of, the things that you have the potential to really amplify, because there may be other lessons that you need to learn before you can tap into that. Because I don't know, self-destruction, there's a lot of self-sabotage that can happen too if you don't know what to do with these abilities. I've seen it where people have these great abilities and they're able to manifest things in those moments, and then it's stripped away from them as they start spiraling out of control and manifesting things that are a detriment to them. So the guides are saying like, this is you, like you are able to do this, but because you're navigating in this the worlds that you're navigating in, we acknowledge that you're not ready for this. Like there's another lesson to learn first, or there needs to be some balancing and restructuring, or maybe this gift isn't something that you need in this phase of your life, and that's okay. Just like when I was speaking before of how I had these abilities to tap into like the otherworldly and spirits and everything, and at one point I decided to just shut the channels, and I did that as a defense mechanism. And the thing with defense mechanisms is like these human bodies are incredible, right? One, we're able to be here and navigate this amazing existence with so many different energies and so many different like sensory experiences. But then there's this, with all of those experiences that are wonderful, there's this other ones that are just challenging, right? And they're a part of the experience. So it's not like we can just only gravitate towards one thing. We have to learn how to be cohesive with it. So for me, it wasn't a great idea for me to stay connected to all of these different things, because I didn't know how to balance that aspect of my being with the aspect of my being that needed to be grounded, needed to be here. And so even though I cut myself off from all of those, I realized that I would leave my body a lot. And not knowing really what it was like, what was happening when I was a child. I remember asking so many different doctors, even like an optometrist. I was like, well, maybe something's wrong with my eyes, and just like getting written off. And it's because these things aren't in the Western field of medicine, right? These phenomenons of like dissociating from your body, having out of body experiences, things along those natures. So anyways, I eventually learned how to exist with that happening, me removing from my body. And whenever I did come back into meditating and connecting with the divines, my guides, all of these things, I found it really easy because I was already so practiced. Like that muscle had already been worked with me being out of my body. The challenge that I was having was finding harmony with the duality, right? I knew that I needed to be the bridge in between the heavens and the earth. But I so much gravitated more towards the heavens because there was less physical pain, right? Because I was having difficulties navigating the 3D, it resulted in a lot of inward explosion of energies, so like manifesting as sickness and such. And so whenever there's that dis-ease in the body, of course I was having dis-ease. Sorry, I have this compulsion with stepping stones. And eventually got to the point where the awakening happened, right? Enlightenment, consciousness. So you become aware of the things that are happening and your role in all of it. And oh my goodness, look at these dandelions. Oh, isn't this just like the most beautiful bunch of them? It's basically spring here. It's not, but it totally is. There's like flowers everywhere. And and learning that we have a role and taking charge of that, right? So I healed my vessel. I don't have those ailments anymore. Anytime an ailment pops up, I know what worldly thing to use to navigate it. I know what energy tools to do. I know what spiritual aspects need to be worked on. And so now that my vessel and I have this I have this understanding of my vessel and how to be with it, the next big step was for me to truly be grounded. And if we're talking Western astrology, then Gemini noon. No, that's not. Gemini sun, Libra moon. So lots of air, right? I'm like floating and flowy, like very much in that space. And I have to intentionally ground myself. And so I would, meditative practice, like ground myself. But something really interesting happened. And I was laying in bed one day and it was after I had gotten sick. I had lost the ability to use my upper chakras again. So like I was saying in the beginning of this video, like it wasn't the time for me to go up into the ethereal to get all these different insights and guidance, because their thing with me was you need to go within for everything. Like I need to be more in my body, right? And I thought that was more like, okay, well, I have all the codes and information, Akashic records, I can access all of that stuff. So like whenever I need to do something, I'll just like go within it and pull that out. And it's like, yeah, that was part of it. But the other greater part of it was I needed to be more grounded, like more in my body. And so I was laying there in bed and resting, like intentionally resting during these last good bit of moments. And I heard a message that said, it is safe. It is safe to be in your body. And it dawned on me, that whole story that I just told you, I hadn't felt safe in my body. And so yeah, I could do all these other things, but the human experience in the body is important too. It's very important. We have to have harmony, right? It can't just be the making peace with the vessel. It's like, no, the flow with all of it. And so as I'm feeling more in my body, like what does it feel like to be more in your body? Well, I used to say that I operate more in the energy worlds with my energy body. And that's very true. I can still feel a lot of things. But now adding the extra layer of physical intention in it, I am feeling the emotions run through my body in a way that I can't control. And I'm just like, this is such a human thing, right? So one thing, for instance, is spontaneous laughter. There was something that was happening, and like so many different synchronicities, and my go-to thing is like, okay, Gemini mind, let's analyze all of it. And so each time I would try to go and connect the dots, I would just burst out into laughter. And the message there was, stop thinking about it, just experience it. Not everything needs to be analyzed. Literally experience the human being, experience being human. And so I'm experiencing it more and more, and I didn't realize that I could have another tier of joy than I'd already experienced. Like I'm a pretty happy person. If you guys know me, I'm just like, so many different occurrences have happened and can happen in my life, and I just always have the faith that, you know, these things are meant to be happening, because I learned from every situation. I'm able to apply it to future things. I'm able to help so many people because of the perspectives that I have now. And so when things that are seemingly negative happened, like, it doesn't really affect me on a huge level like it used to, you know, when I was fresh on navigating this earth realm. And so now that I am experiencing these other emotions and like truly feeling safe in my body, it just feels like this whole other thing. And so that's part of like coming back to authenticity, right? Is allowing yourself to be in your body. Like, you gotta be in your body to really know what it is like to be you. Like, yes, there's your higher self, but that's just one aspect of your being. I had operated with my higher self for so long, you know, like uncomfortable life, worldly navigations. Let me just remove myself from my body so my body can go through it, and I'll just like help it guide. And now that I'm feeling safe in my body, it's a completely different experience. And so all of this fast-winded story to let you know that if this has resonated with you on any level, perhaps now is the time for you to be stepping into your body, stepping into what you know that you're supposed to be doing. And you're like, but how do I know what I'm supposed to be doing when there's like all of these like distractions and energies and opinions and all of these things and things that you're stuck in? And it's because it feels good, right? It literally gives you energy. It brings you joy. If you're putting your energy in some sort of way that you feel like it's draining from you, you feel like it's taking away from another aspect of your being that you could be experiencing, then that's your clear indication that you're not in alignment, right? And it's okay. Like, give yourself absolute grace for not being in alignment. Like, you're human. Like, in this whole navigation, like, you still have to figure out certain things, but there are ways for you to be able to be in alignment with your authentic self and still be able to function and navigate in this realm, right? You've been on this earth for long enough to know the rules. You know all the energies at play. So take your power back. You know, like, when are you going to be truly ready to fully step into yourself? You know, live your life outside of everybody else's expectations, because like everybody gets to live their own life, right? So stop trying to fit yourself into a mold of somebody else's projection of your life, and just go and do the thing. And I know that's scary, I should put a disclaimer on here that I'm going to encourage you to do those things that are frightening and to take the fear out of that faith and put it more into belief. Believe that when you go towards what feels good, that you're going to feel more yourself. You're going to feel more aligned. You're going to feel more energy. You're not going to be depleted, and you're going to be walking your purpose. And it's not just a good thing for you, it's a great thing for everybody around you. Like, we all are such beautiful individual fractals of the source consciousness, right? And so because we are that, if we are all expressing ourselves in our full authenticity, like, we are just making a more colorful, beautiful experience for everybody. And we're showing the different possibilities, the limitless. Like, it's just, yes, like, come back. There's a song that's popping into my head. I think it was on Adventure Time. I didn't watch that stuff very much, but I really loved the song, right? It's like, come along with me to where the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and whistle as we please. Come along with me to where the butterflies and bees. We can wander through the forest and whistle as we please. And there's more. I'll probably be singing that the whole time after I turn this video off. But that is the message I've been wanting to share with y'all for quite some time. It's time. You're ready, and there's more and more layers to it. I think I touched on everything. If not, you can expect another video from me. Love y'all.